not to. When the dark is closing in, when the ground is shadowing, where do you go now? Through the flames, won't you tell me what's your end game? When the wolves are circling and the light is getting dim, what were you thinking? Who takes the blame? Won't you tell me what's your end game? Tell me, would you burn your kingdom down? Tell me, are you laughing now when there's nowhere left to go? Who's gonna save your soul? Tell me, what's your end game? Would you burn your kingdom down? Are you laughing now? Would you burn your kingdom down? Are you laughing now? Tell me, what's your end game? What's your end game?
Whose intentions were genuine from the jump. You cannot play someone whose heart was pure. You cannot play someone who literally wanted nothing but the best for you. You cannot play someone that saw more potential in you than you saw in yourself. Those are not the kind of people that you play, because you think you played them, but you played yourself. Because I guarantee you, the second that you go trying to look for that person as someone else, you go out in the other dating world, you go back on Tinder swiping left and right, you are not going to find a soul like that again. Because those people are rare. They are unique. And all of us are. I'm not saying that we're not. But when you have someone that comes into your life, doesn't want you for your money, doesn't want you for the things you have, doesn't want you for the way you look, wants you for your soul, and you play them, nah. You played yourself. You cannot.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. Today is May 31st, 2025, and it is the day that I took down Ronald's fake account. That's right. I am a spiritual badass, and I was prepared and sent for Ronald, and he wanted to play the game with me. What was his end game? What was his end game? He's supposed to be a powerful manifester. He agreed to the ending of my book. He gave me the name of my book. Yes, I am writing a book. And Ronald was part of the ending story for one part. So what was his end game? You know, you cannot build a kingdom with a man who's trying to build a kingdom with a bunch of other women. It don't work. And I've been playing this game my whole life. And I was prepared and sent for him. I played the game of trying to build a kingdom with a man who was screwing around and trying to build a kingdom with everyone else. Couldn't get his mind straight. And my life, my journey is a gift to the world because it's an energy game. And you know what? You cannot lie when it comes to energy. That's just how it is. You can't lie. It's an energy game. And you want to play the game, you agree to being honest. And guess what? When you don't play by the rules, things will happen. And that's just how the game works. And so you can't lie to God. Energy doesn't lie. And when you're dicking around, lying and BSing, guess what? God sends someone in on you. That's how the game works. That's what I came here for. This is what I chose to do. I chose to do this spiritually. I chose to come and teach people lessons. And I'm a divine being having a human experience. Came in here to play the game in the dark. Down here, it's all vibration, it's all frequency, and I came up here. I warned that boy. I gave him warnings of who I was and what I would do. I don't play around when it comes to lying. I've taught people many lessons when it's come to lying. He should pay closer attention to who he's messing with. And that's the truth. And you know what? It's going to serve a purpose for somebody because somebody's going to start paying attention to who's around them. It's a tough lesson. It's a very tough lesson. We all have to learn. And so, Ronald and I agreed that options were closed. But then, he's talking to other women. He tried to convince me that it was me. But then he proved that the February 23rd event, when he sent me a message back, when I had my daughter contact one of his women, he showed me the proof that he was talking to other women. Fool me once. Shame on you. You get a warning. Fool me twice. It may not turn out very well for you. And he said I had nothing to worry about. He was right. I had nothing to worry about. I know how to play this game. I knew my power. I know that it's an energy game. And one of the things that happened 1 month after I got connected with Ronald, I'm going to tell you, connections are powerful, and you better be careful who you're connecting to. And 1 month after I was connected with Ronald, talking to him in a relationship, I had a physical change happen to me from the other side of the world. He's in Nigeria, I'm in Washington State. And I had a physical change happen to me just by being connected to him, because we are in an energy game. Energy is powerful. And that change was my female odor. It changed. I noticed it because I was paying attention to my life and my things and what was going on in my life. My female odor changed 1 month after being connected to him. Then we had, so during the February 23rd event, I made 2 connections during this time with 2 guys on the same group that I met Ronald on. One of the guys, we chatted a little bit, then I just didn't send him a message. He let me go. He didn't respond. I didn't respond back to him. He didn't respond. It just ended. The other guy, Sam, he was trying to talk to me. There is something weird about Sam, though. And I was like, I'm moving forward with Ronald because I had gotten the message that soul contracts were up. And so I was like, I'm moving forward with Ronald. I'm not going to be talking to some other guy. In fact, when I had a conversation with Ronald that next day, when we were talking about his avoidance problems and things, I even said something to him about, would you want me talking to some other guy? And he kind of got this look on his face. And he's like, no, But here he was talking to other women. He proved it. But we just kept on going. Yeah, let's just keep on going. Put that block on him from coming to be with me if he had any BS going on. He was right. I had nothing to worry about. Words are powerful. Agreements are powerful. So we come to the line, April 3rd. I sent him the song, The Tide is High. And the line of filing the marriage visa that we were in agreement for. And he ghosted me. So then, April 6th, I sent him a message. And he sent me a message back saying he couldn't figure me out because he wasn't looking at me. He put me in the back burner when he thought that he had me pretty good. And he just managed me. And that's okay. Playing the game. I talked to him about all the coincidences. I was sent for him. And, when he sent me that back, I seen that he was lying to me, BSing me, trying to use me for a marriage visa. The agreements that he made, on and on. And when I came to that line that I saw that I had everyone in their place and it was him, I declared spiritual warfare because lying is a soul violation. Being deceitful is a lying violation. And I didn't care if I had to come back in another lifetime to take care of it. He's on the other side of the world. What am I going to do? And so I also asked for some signs. I asked for, I had said, I had called him out so many times on his fake photos that he kept on posting on Facebook. And I asked for a sign. I said, if he was real, he'd post a real photo of himself. And if he was lying and he was being a fake, that he would post another fake photo of himself. That's the power we have when we learn how to control energy and manipulate energy. And when I asked him to send my son a message because he had said he was this man for my son, he went way too far for just being a BSer with me. He should have said, stop. He should have said, no. He should have stopped agreeing to things. But see, men who use and manipulate women and think they can get away with it don't give a crap. And so he told me he meant every word. Then I went on my no effing dicks day on April 28th. That was fun. That was fun. It was time. It was time. I've been dealing with these guys my whole life. I came into a mess. And you know what? I've been taking care of business my whole life. And while I was with Ronald, I was working on myself, figuring out who I was and why I came here. And on May 3rd, Ronald, so when things went down with Ronald, he made a post on April 6th on his Facebook thanking the birthday wishes that he got. But I also saw something else there, because not by him, but there was another post made. It was very interesting. It was interesting. And so he didn't post nothing all this time, nothing at all. And May 3rd, exactly 1 month after he had ghosted me, he made a couple of posts. One was saying how when you rewind and replay the song because it hurts so bad. See, I had held on to his energy until just before April 28th and didn't tell anybody. And then I told people and dropped that energy from him that people thought he was coming to be with me. So, the song hurt, you replay the song because it hurts so bad. Then he had a picture of slightly drowning in water and then a deep drowning in water. And then he posted his next fake photo. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. You can't lie when it comes to energy. You can't lie to God. And truly, if I knew what I was doing, I'd be dangerous. And something else happened right around this time, about 1 month after separating this connection with Ronald. My female odor changed back. Connections with people are very powerful. And let me be the warning that you need to be careful who you're connected with. And that is why this is part of my journey. And sharing it is to help people realize the connections and energy and what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're agreeing to, what they're thinking, and even how their emotions can affect people and their own lives. And then we ended up at my parents' house, me and my children, for celebrating my mother's birthday and these things. Now, I wasn't telling them anything about Ronald. Ronald was off the table from us even speaking about him. But I had told my son on April 28th that Ronald was out and that he was going to be the man of the house. And while we were at my parents', he flipped his lid over Ronald. He's pissed because this guy made these promises to a little boy who had lost his daddy not too long before this, who wanted nothing more but some man to come and be a buddy to him. And so he didn't have to be the only man in the home. I mean, you could understand why he would want such a thing. But he didn't need to be hurt and deceived like he was. And he was pissed. He flipped his lid, going off the hinges because of Ronald and his BS. But it's all a learning lesson, really. We all learn a lot from Ronald. And I think Ronald learns some very valuable lessons himself. And then, it came about to me about the podcaster. Now, I don't know what it was with this podcaster. I kind of was over here, then I kind of went here, and then I went way over here, and then I had to get back here. But, I had to come to admit to myself that I did fall in love with the podcaster. But I had to ask myself, what was it? Because, see, with Ronald, with Robert, what happens is they say, I want something with you. And then I start convincing myself that I want something with them and that I want to be with them. I'm convincing myself I want to be with some skinny young kid, practically old enough to be my kid. That's the power we have programming ourselves. Truly. And let me remind you that Ronald went to church every Sunday. Every Sunday, he went to church, and he even went to Bible classes. And so, so what was it that the podcaster did to make me fall in love with him? Because he didn't say anything to me. He didn't, approach me or anything. And that's a big fat learning lesson, is just looking at someone and it just being a process and not convincing yourself of something. You listening to love songs, and this and that, And so those are learning lessons for sure. There was also one day that I had gone to Walmart for a pickup order. And this is like really part of watching my world and what comes at me. And all of a sudden, this guy comes up to my car to talk with me. He was a guy that I had ran into several times door dashing. And he starts telling me how his wife is sitting in the car. He saw me over here, da da da. He came to talk to me. And so I've learned to pay attention to my life. I'm like, what is this guy doing talking to me? And he ends up telling me something very, very interesting, which was to watch the movie The Secret, which was very interesting because I had just been listening to something that had said something about this movie, The Secret. And so it's very interesting how your life, when you pay attention, you are being sent a message to do such a thing. And so I would highly, highly inquire you to go and watch the movie The Secret. And here in a couple of weeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a review of that movie and just give you my perspective of it, because it just might be like just a little bit of a different perspective for you. And so you can look forward to that. But this is just how I have seen this movement happen and not happen within my life when I started paying attention to my life and my reality. And then I had this little interesting experience where I ended up showing up at a delivery order doing DoorDash. And the guy kind of asked me a question. And anyways, I end up in this guy's apartment. He just broke up with his ex, and we were talking, and I, have stepped into this higher level, and I was just speaking very powerfully to him because he had a little bit of an issue of women switching teams on him. I did see it a little bit, but I was just talking to him a bit about, that didn't he deserve better than that? And this kind of thing. And even I, so, he was kind of heartbroken. I'm kind of like in this thing a little bit still, getting, past this idea of Ronald and things, which wasn't really Ronald. Honestly, it was just something in my mind that I convinced myself of. And so, I'm kind of letting go of this thing, and And so I'm talking with this guy, and then I come to this moment where I was like, Alisha, get out of here. So I was like, I'm gonna get back to work, it was nice talking with you kind of thing. And I get myself out of there. And I would have you not that this guy, he messaged me through DoorDash saying that I could come back and we could talk further in depth. And he also gave me a phone call. I ignored that phone call. And I ended up coming up with this little thing that I was like, say no to the dicks, say no to the dicks, say no to the dicks. And I was pretty sure, I knew myself very well that it wasn't going to be worth it. I wouldn't have gotten off or anything like that. Some heartbroken, traumatized, sexual encounter thing. I knew I wouldn't have gotten off. And I went home and I used my vibrator and I got off, loving myself. That's right. Because we have the freedom to do such a thing. And loving ourselves, not just in that way, but other ways, is very freeing. It's very freeing. And no one is going to love us more than we love ourselves. And so I ended up starting this thing where I started walking around wherever I went and I see men. I was just like, say no to the dicks, say no to the dicks, say no to the dicks. Because trauma has a way of wanting us to people please others. And so we came to Mother's Day, May 12th. And I got a very interesting message. It was from the guy Sam that I blew off back in February. So this was very interesting. And I'm like, I got this message the same time I made this connection that soul contracts were up. I'm like, well, maybe I need to deal with this guy too. So we started chatting back and forth, and I had changed my tune quite a bit from the whole Ronald gig. See, throughout the Ronald gig, I really played this little sweet girl role. And when things went down with Ronald, that changed. And ultimately, it was the bitch that came back. Ultimately, it's just being a badass. Because spiritually, I am a badass. I played that little sweet girl role pretty good. I actually started seeing how I prepared for that towards the end of my relationship with Robert. I've been playing this game my entire life. And so I had changed my tune quite a bit. And I'm looking at this guy, Sam. And we're going back and forth. And I was just like, just had it with guys dicking around and this and that. Now, interesting enough, Sam, he was in Nigeria too. And Sam and we never exchanged time zone difference. I'm looking at this guy. I looked at his photos. He's like 37 years old. I'm looking at this guy. And at the same time, I was kind of watching something else. I was kind of like trying to figure out something here, I'm going along here. I'm looking at something. I'm looking at Sam. I see Ronald on here as well, and we will talk about Ronald in a few minutes. So I'm looking at Sam. I'm going back and forth, asked him what he did. He does you know, like funeral photography or something. So I'm looking at this guy. We're going back and forth a little bit. I'm like, I'm not playing around here, you know. I'm freaking a badass. And I just taught this boy a lesson. Like, I'm not freaking playing around. And after 3 days of looking at this guy, he's up till 5 a.m. I'm like, I just called him out on his BS. And he's like, "Oh, I've been working on myself a long time." I'm like, "Whatever. You're full of it, and I know it." And so, at the same time during these few days, and I saw Ronald on there, I decided to let Ronald know what he's involved with me. What was he involved in with Alisha? And Ronald has an avoidance problem, so I got his attention. And I sent him a little message, kind of acting like I was responding back to Sam, but to him on accident. And I said, a ceremony. He had said a ceremony photography. And I was like, ceremony photography. And Ronald was like, huh? Got his attention. So then I'm like having dick problems. And he said, "You're having dick problems?" And I told him, "No, you are. And it's getting worse." So then I sent him a little song called "You're Gonna Get What's Coming." You're gonna get what's coming. And, I, he pretty much asked me to speak in English, speak in terms that he could understand. And I gave him a little reminder of some power that he gave to me, which was I had him going pretty good. And agreements and giving your power away, it's very powerful. And so I reminded him of some of the power that he gave to me, which was, I give you the dick is yours. And I said, let's see how powerful I am. And then I said, I could always start contacting people. See, I hadn't made that agreement of not contacting his people and his women. And he ended up sending me a hand slapped in the face emoji. And so, I did this little like dick hit thing on him. I sent him another song that was called Get Some, that I was going to teach him a lesson that he was never going to forget, and to come and get some, that we were switching lanes, and that I came to teach him a lesson. We were going to take it to the edge, take it too far, you know? And I continued with this little dick hit, saying, dick problem, it was, I took it a little far. Then I was like, I thought, oh, then I also sent him a message. Oh yes, I sent him a message, and I was telling him that I did not put anything past liars and deceivers, and that I was way ahead of him, and I was also sent for him, and he was going to get what was coming for him, and that I declared war on him. That's what he was in. He was in spiritual warfare with Alisha because he lied to me. We had an agreement to be honest. That's all he had to do, be honest. But he wanted to lie and BS to try to get something that he wanted. And that he had no idea who I was. See, when he was looking all else, I was looking at him. And that he was way in over his head. I told him to stop his avoidance issue, and that while he was jacking off with other women online, I was looking at him. I knew my enemy. He didn't have any idea who I was. But I told him this is where the fun begins. And I told him that his little dick problem was getting worse, and it was coming for him. And that I had fought for some assets, and that he had hurt one of those assets. And for that, he would pay. Don't play the victim. You get what you deserve. He only brought it upon himself, and that he had played the game with the wrong person. I told him he better pay attention, and that he was clueless. And that I wasn't playing around. We weren't doing the dicking around thing like we did before. And I told him to get his head straight. Told him, let the games begin. Let's have fun. Because he was fun. Truly, God sent Ronald a freaking pro. And I cut loose on that boy, and I just dragged him right on through. I prepared for him, and I hunted his butt down to the other side of the world. Because I'm a spiritual huntress, and I did it before. It's what I came here to do, is to play in this role and this game with people, because people have been manipulated and don't understand the game that they're playing in, and it can get very dangerous. So I played the dangerous game. And now it's time to show people how to play the game, good or bad. Take a better look around your life, because you might find out that you have been sleeping next to the wrong person. And so I ended up then remembering back when in March, when I was listening to the podcaster, that he had posted this little photo on there of Dick Earth. That's right, Dick Earth. And so I told Ronald, we live on Dick Earth. I sent him a photo of Dick Earth. And then I sent him another photo of Dick Earth. By that time, he was done. He was out. He just quit looking at the messages. So we move forward. What are we going to do? You know, truly, what are we going to do? So anyhow, at this time, we're going to take a little break and play the two songs that I sent Ronald, which is You're going to Get What's Coming and Get Some. Come get some. Come on, come and get it. Come get it. You want to play? Because we can play.
Tick tock, which hand moves the clock? Aftershock, falling from the top. You'd bury secrets, cover your lies. It's getting closer. Nowhere to hide. You're gonna get what's coming. 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 You bury secrets, cover your lies. It's getting closer. Nowhere to hide. You're gonna get what's coming. You're gonna get what's coming. You're gonna get what's coming.
I'm a bad look for the big bad wolf. Class is in session, better get your textbook. I'm about to teach you a lesson you ain't ever gonna forget. Never ever ever get it mistook. It's time you put some respect on my rep. I'ma level up, you ain't seen nothing yet. And if you wanna flex, I'ma put you to the test. We can take it way too far, give it all till there's nothing left. We came to feel that fire. Give me danger, make it louder. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up higher. Okay, let's give them what they asking. Right now it's time for some action. Come and get some, come and get some. Come and get some, come and get some. We gon' turn it way up till we max it. Right now it's time for some action. Come and get some, come and get some. Come and get some, come and get some. Tell me now, are you entertained? Cause we jumping in another lane. Yes. If you ain't scared, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? Oh, it's no more fun and games. Nah. Tell me now, are you entertained? Are you entertained? Cause we jumping in another lane. If you ain't scared, what you waiting on? Let's go. Oh, it's no more fun and games. We came to feel that fire. Give me danger, make it louder. Turn it up, 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 turn it up higher. Okay, let's give them what they asking. Right now it's time for some action. Come and get some, come and get some. Come and get some, come and get some. We gon' turn it way up till we max it. Right now it's time for some action. Come and get some, come and get some. Come and get some, come and get some. Come and get some. Come and get some. Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. Huh? This is a lesson that you never gon' forget. Huh? You ain't seen nothing yet. I'ma teach a lesson that you never gon' forget. Okay, let's give them what they asking. Right now it's time for some action. Come and get some, come and get some. Come and get some, come and get some. We gon' turn it way up till we max it. Right now it's time for some action. Come and get some, come and get some. Come and get some, come and get some. Come and get some. Come and get some.
So those were really, really freaking good songs. Hey, you know what? There comes a time that somebody got to come in and teach somebody a lesson. And so week 2, which was the following week after Mother's Day last year. So this would have been the 3rd week or the 4th week, whatever it is. Depends on the month, and it might have had 5 weeks. Like this year has 5 weeks in May. But anyhow, so I had gone through this time of looking a little more in depth at Ronald's Facebook account because I didn't really look at him too well on his Facebook and his activity and things while he was on Facebook. While I was with him, I did not look at his activity on the Facebook as well. And as I started looking at his Facebook, I seen a couple of things that were going on there. One of them was how there were these new women that came in. All of a sudden, there's these new women that come in and start liking his posts. And that was one of the things that I saw. I also saw a very, very interesting other post, which was which actually, when I seen this, it just kind of like triggered something in me. And so I ended up making a fake account. And after a couple days, I even made another fake account. You had to wait a couple of days to make another account. So I made an account under the name Tiffany. And so during this next week, what I did was I ended up making 2 friends. Tiffany made 2 friends, Sam and Ronald. Sam was really trying to get me on the phone to have a phone conversation with him. But I pretty much knew what he was about, and I shut him down. I would not have a conversation with him. I would not get on WhatsApp with him. And I pretty much just kind of left him dangling there and just kind of let him be. And Ronald and I, we went back and forth a little bit. I was really trying to see something about him because I had gotten this little clue of something when everything went down April 6th with him, that I was really kind of like wondering about something with him, and he's agreed to be the ending story of my book. And I'm just kind of like, so I really kind of tried something with him to see, what is he doing? How far is he going messing around with women online? And I did get a little bit of interesting information from him. And then, I kind of just played this like being the heartbroken woman kind of thing and this and that, and just see how he was. And he is all kind of sweet and stuff. But then he came to a point that he just did not care. And he called me out for being me. He didn't care. So, I let him be. I didn't respond back, really. I just let him be. He showed me who he was. He showed who he was, And, also during this time, it was very interesting because I went on to this account on Facebook one day, and it showed me Sam's friend groups that Sam was a part of. I was like, kind of interesting. So I put out there, I wonder what Ronald's friend groups that he's in, I wonder what they are. And some of the groups that even Sam was a part of, and Ronald, because they both were in awakened groups for dating and relationships, was lonely people who need a friend, friendships and fun, and making new friends in 2023. And so, this was kind of interesting. I'm just kind of like looking at this thing and, like, that's kind of interesting, it's amazing that I can actually like say, hey, show me this, and I get shown what I was asking for. When we truly gain our power, we can flip this world around. And we don't need to put up with people's nonsense and BS. And so we're going to take another little quick break. We're going to play a message, and we're going to also play a song. This song was the song that really triggered something in me. It was not sent to me once, but twice when things went down on that April 6th, when I came to see things. I was given a lot of, little tidbits of stuff. This song popped up twice. I paid close attention to this song, and this just triggered something in me. And we're going to play this song, and people who know, and we'll talk about it when we get back. But this was one of the songs that was sent to me. It's a remake, and the song, I played it over and over and over as I moved on from Ronald in April.
Don't you come back no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. 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 What you say? Don't you come back no more.
It is a painful lesson, and one you're about to learn. It is a painful lesson, and one you're about to learn.
Hit the road, Jack. So, we come to week 3, the last week of May 2024, where, Ronald had made this agreement to be a part of the story of my book, to be the ending story of my book. We had a little different story going on, but, again, you can't build that story with someone who is trying to build a story with other women and just can't build that one, you know. And, so, I was looking for some information and, I had this song, Hit the Road, Jack. So I wasn't quite sure about something. I didn't know if this song was sent to me, if I got this song, if it was legit, or if I got it for leverage. See, Hit the Road, Jack, the original, which, we kind of grew up with, was the song that we sang to Grandpa, the pedophile that I put away in prison when I was 10. Kind of flipped his life upside down. A few others too. But so I just wasn't quite sure about it. I had tried this little thing about playing a little younger, the week before with Tiffany, under the Tiffany account, and I just kind of I wasn't quite sure about it, and things. And I just kind of like, and so, I had seen something on Ronald's Facebook, when he everything went down with him, and he sent out that little birthday thing of oh, thank you for all the birthday requests, sending me happy birthday wishes, and see, there was another post that was made by a female, a girl, who was like, oh, let's celebrate birthday day 2. And I hit that girl up. I warned him. He wants to play the game. He wants to avoid. He does not want to admit to anything. Told him he played in the wrong game with the wrong person. I don't take that. I just don't. I've done it many times. And God sent me to him for a reason. And so I hit that girl up and I said that we were investigating someone we believed she was talking to, and we were investigating him for victimizing women online and possibly pedophilia, asking for information if she had any. And she asked who. I told her who. I waited hours to tell her not to tell Ronald. But something very interesting happened, which was Ronald went offline for like 10 hours. He's probably a little concerned. Sam was on there though. I seen that Sam's on there. I'm like, okay, I'm just watching stuff here and just trying to figure this out, This girl wasn't really willing to give me too much information, She was actually wanting information on him. And so Ronald, after about 10 hours, he came back online and he sent Tiffany a little message saying, so you're messaging my people now. Well, didn't I warn you just a couple weeks ago about this? Didn't I tell you that I was going to teach you a lesson that you weren't going to forget? I told you we weren't dicking around. Did you just not take me seriously? I told you I didn't put up with lying very well. See, maybe you need to pay attention to who you're messing with. Maybe you need to pay attention to what you're doing in your life and messing with other people and their lives. But we like to play the game. Oh, yes, we do. We like playing the game. And so I went for the girl, and I talking to the girl, and I'm like, you told him about our investigation. You've blown our investigation. And she denies it. Oh, I didn't tell him anything. And while this is going on, I get a message from Sam out of the blue. I'm like, his fake account is messaging me now, messaging us now. And she's like, well, what's he saying? I'm like, well, Ronald's asking about messaging his people. Fake account is playing along with us still. Fake account shut down right in front of my face. I'm going to show this. He messaged me right in the middle of me talking with this girl. Good morning, goddess. How was your night? And he shut it down. And I never seen that account go back up. Never went back up. I am a badass. You messed with the wrong person. You played in the wrong game. And we'll talk a little bit more about the game. And so we went back and forth doing this little thing with the girl pretty much being the middleman. And then I got asked a very interesting question because that song in the beginning, in game, was a song that I got when things went down April 6th with Ronald. Like, would you burn your kingdom down? Ronald was supposed to be a part of something with me. He thought I was a BSer like him. Guess what? I'm not. And so all of a sudden, I got asked, what's your end game? It just like clicked. And I'm like, if he files immigration papers, he's going to get his butt picked up. That's why I was sent to him. I was not the first one. Done it before. He told me himself. He also, I believe, was trying to get this girl. She was great. She was great. She would have been perfect for him. She was just falling for it all. And I did give her a warning, woman to woman. She said she didn't see any red flags and stuff. And, you know, I was her once. I get it. I do. I get it. That's why I went through what I went through so that I can help and teach other people and show them, especially women. Because it's a shame what these kind of men do to women in their lives. And so he ended up blocking me on Facebook. I mean, I guess I took it a little too far. The girl, she was great. I could see why he liked her. I liked her too. I did. I truly did. She would have been perfect for him. She would have been. She would have fell for all of his BS, you know. See, he was trying to prime me during our relationship how he needed to go take a nap. Like, you're going to sleep like at 10, 11 o'clock at night. You say you're getting up in the middle of the night to do some computer programming coding stuff. You're getting up at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, running late for stuff. You need to take a nap after you get home. See, it was just a priming little thing, because he would have been upstairs taking a nap, jerking off with other women online. That's how the game's played. Better be careful. I felt that energy. I felt that energy in February when I said something to him, and he said, "Oh, you got nothing to worry about." Yeah, you're right. I think that he got a lesson his mother couldn't teach him that he needed. And so then he emailed me. He told me how horrible I was for what I was doing. We'll forget about the fact that I just shut down your fake account that I seen all over the awakened groups, awakened souls and relationship group, for looking for his soulmate, not only while he was involved with me, but when he was involved with his girl too. She wasn't enough for him either. So it's okay. He said that he made a good decision, not wasting his youth on me. That he thought he did me a favor. He did me lots of favors. And I'm going to do a review here in a couple of weeks of this whole relationship thing, and review this thing. And we're going to talk about all the favors that Ronald did for Alisha and her life and her journey. Because Ronald did a lot of favors for Alisha. You better be careful who you're trying to play, because you might end up actually doing them some big favors to help them level up. Stay strong, stay in there. It's tough. It's tough sometimes, keep on going through the same cycle. Keep on going. And so I responded that he was a liar, and next time he should figure out who he is dealing with. And, he also shared with me how him and his girl were talking about how crazy I was. It's a big fat learning lesson right there, And, they're actually right. Because, God, when someone lies to me, just kind of does something to me. It really makes me just like psychopathic crazy, Need to do something about that. And, he ended up saying I wasn't his enemy, and I could message all his people on Facebook. And when he did that, I said, he just gave you everything, Alisha. Make peace with him. And I sent him a message back saying, checkmate, I make peace with you. Thanks. Did me a lot of favors there. A lot of favors, Ronald. God gave me everything. Gave me everything I needed. All kinds of favors. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. I hope you're living your dream life. I truly do. Because I'm living mine. We're going to live this out. It's going to be good. It only gets better from here. I promise you. Only good things are coming. Level up. Level up. Thanks. Thanks. Yes. And as I headed for this and thinking about this and that, hey, you know what? I could message all those women. I could send this video. I could message all those women. But there's something very significant that I did the end of last year. Very significant. It's why I'm here. It's why I'm doing this. It's part of my journey. It's part of my story. Is where I'm at. And, I decided that I don't want to be that person anymore. That boy got enough problems. He got plenty of issues, and he'll get what's coming to him. I promise that. Next person may not be so nice and so easy on him. It would just get worse and worse. Just tighten up that noose a little more. Because, we'll talk about the energy game. Because they want to teach us all kinds of other crap, but they don't want to teach you your power and teach you the energy game. So we're going to take a break. And, when I asked that question of should I send these women this video, which I do believe that I have better power than that I have utilized, they'll find it. Whoever needs it, they'll find it. I guarantee you that. Learned how to use my power for manipulating energy, and they'll find it. I promise you. Promise you. They'll find it. Whoever needs it, they're going to find it. So when I asked that question, I got this song. Should I do this? Should I not do this? I got this song. This is how God works. This is how energy works. And I got this perfect song that said, just let him be. He got enough problems. I seen it. I seen it when he was all fretting over something that was going on, chaos, BS, struggles. I've seen it time and time again. Keep on going through it till you learn your lesson. It might come hard. It might come at a price. But, serve a purpose, good or bad, for everyone. So we're going to go ahead and play that song and come back and do some questions and answers and some questions and talk about the energy game and learning lessons.
Another night is over, I'm acting like I'm sober. When I think you pass me by, I gather all my pieces, pretending what you're missing, while I sing my lullaby. I wish that I could change what I've done. But I don't know if it doesn't matter. I go down to the river to pray, just to make it under. And I go down to the comes to my head. I was acting like a fool, playing like a sick game just to give you more claim. Well, I never followed through. I wish that I could change what I've done. I go down to the river to pray, just to make it under. And I go down to the river to pray, just to make it under. I go down to the river to pray, just to make it under. Walk down to the river to make it under. I walk down to the river to make it under. I go down to the river to pray, just to make it under. And I go down to the river to pray, just to make it under. And I go down to the river to pray, just to make it under. I wish that I could change what I've done. I wish that I could change what I've done. I wish that I could change what I've done.
Undone. We can only move forward from where we're at today and take one day at a time and work on mastering yourself to be a champion in your life. Get rid of the distractions. Pay attention to what's going on in your life and around you, because you might be surprised. Very surprised. So let's do some questions and answers. So, do I feel guilty for lying to Ronald's girl? And no, I came out with the truth. It was a short time. I gave her a warning. She needed that warning. And that's part of the game. And see, when you don't pay attention to those warnings, you end up in a big fat mess. She said she'd take her chances. I took my chances too. I also learned some lessons too. So, she's just a pawn in the game. That's just all it was. But, you should be careful who you mess with, because her emotions were raging out of control during this thing, fretting over if this boy was who she thought he was and things. And it goes both ways. It goes both ways as well. And that was something that was learned with that. And so what was I watching? What was I watching when I was there watching what was going on? And that was, it was very interesting, because I was watching how Sam would get offline and Ronald got offline. It was be like 5-6 minutes apart. Now I was just watching this thing, trying to figure out what in the world am I watching here. There was just something going on, and I was watching it. And his little post that triggered me to make the fake accounts was a Simpsons post that said AKA, 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 also known as. You better pay attention to the posts, because subconsciously, sometimes we're telling on ourselves. I've even done it myself. telling what we're going to do or what we are doing. So you better pay attention, because sometimes you just might be telling someone something. And Ronald also showed how he could alter his photos online by posting a photo of himself, but only altered as being an old man. I would advise to be extremely careful who you're messing around with online, because you don't know who you're dealing with behind there. And, good question is, was I a warning for that girl too? And I sure was. See, learning lessons in my life is that, God sends messages right through people. And why is that? Why is that? Because we all have the Spirit of God within us, every one of us. We all are a part of God. And so somebody comes in to try to give you a message, and when you're not paying attention, you're like, I'm going to take my chances. See, you have no one to blame but yourself in the end. And, that was the thing along with Ronald, was that, I felt it. He lied. I didn't trust myself. He showed me he was talking to another girl, oh, it's just small talk. Well, I sure wasn't small talking with anyone. And in the meantime, he has me on the back burner, just managing me. But we have to learn the lessons, and sometimes we learn them so we can share them, empower others, That's what kind of badass I am. I'm going to empower others with what I've learned. And so, was the girl any more special than me? She was cute. She was. She was younger too. I know he liked her. She was a good one to hit up. And, just to let you know, that little dick hit was for lying to me, and the girl was for my boy. You get what's coming to you. I promise you that. And you were warned plenty of times, but you want to play the game. You played with the right person. I tell you that. I'll tell you what happens in the energy game in a minute. And so, that girl wasn't any more special than me. He was just someone he was using and manipulating. And she was letting him get away with it. He probably got away with it with her. She looked like she was doing stuff too. Who knows? But paying attention to your life is a reality check for sure. And did we jump into another lane? Did we jump into another lane? Was it fun and games? Because it was sure freaking fun for me. Gave me the best freaking ending story of my life for the spiritual badass that I am. I chose my journey. I chose to be that person. I chose it. I'm not no victim. And I chose to play those roles. And I play the nice game. But see, if I had figured out years ago that I was being sent in not to sit at people's tables, but to flip them over. But you know what? I got plenty of time left in me. That's right. And sometimes people are sent to you to flip your table over because you're not paying attention and you're not learning your lessons when it comes to stuff in this world. And when it comes to even your own life, your own life. So, was the Sam account Ronald's account too? Or was it just coincidental? Is Alisha just crazy? Is she just nuts? Losing her mind over here, It's sure coincidental that fake account just shuts down, right after, not too long after Ronald messages me saying you're messaging my people. And I'm talking to the girl and it just shuts down. So am I just nuts? You didn't say anything about that fake account. He knows. Probably wondering how the hell it happened. How the heck did she do that from the other side of the world? Well, when you're so riddled with energy and the BS that you're doing, guess what? It kind of messes up your connection with God. Just a little bit. You got to work on your energies. It's fun. It's fun. It's a great game. I love it. I love this game. Keep on going. So how was it? I was connected with both Ronald and the Sam account. Seriously. How was I connected with both accounts? How was it that I got a message and went through this whole process and got connected to Ronald and he checked and checked and checked? How was that? And then I got connected to Sam. I told him, if you lie to me, I'm going to find out. I think we found out. And did you mean everything you said? You meant everything you said, huh? Being honest. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, Alisha, she's crazy. Yeah. The thing is that sometimes you can fool some of the people, but you can't fool them all. And then they'll say, oh, they're crazy. Just crazy. You might want to pay attention when they start telling you that people are crazy. Because it might just be that they're the warning that you need. So how was it that I was connected to two guys in Nigeria? Yeah. With the same headboard. The same headboard. It's just a tiny, tiny mistake. But when you pay attention, and when you're a badass and you're a spiritual huntress that went in to get something, because it's time to rise up. It's time to be the higher self and to teach people some lessons about the game of life. You get exactly what you needed. Thank you. Thanks. I love it. And I'm going to love the rest of my life. I'm going to enjoy it. I don't give a damn about anything. I don't. I live in peace. Peace. Knowing exactly who I am, what I'm here for, and knowing why I've gone through every single thing I've gone through, and I'm not the victim. But see, that's the game that people like to play. So did Ronald get what was coming to him? Did he? Did he get what was coming to him? It was fun. He was the funnest guy I ever messed around with. I wish I would have had more fun with Robert, seriously, you know? I wish I just would have just learned to just enjoy life a little bit and just, but I unleashed on Ronald for sure, and I just threw it all at him. That's okay. He did me a lot of favors. You can't imagine how many freaking favors that guy gave me. And I'm gonna ask, were you entertained? Were you entertained? I mean, this is just entertaining. My life is for entertainment and educational. That's right. My journey, my experiences, how I've grown and leveled up is all for entertainment and educational purposes. That's right. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Find out what do I learn? How can I take what resonates with me? What can I take from this? Because we always take something from every person that we come in contact with, truly. So we're going to play a little message to explain the energy game just a little bit for you.
Let me blow your mind. You are a piece of God experiencing himself here on earth. And when I say God, God, the universe, the source, life, the quantum field, however you want to call it, you're a piece of God experiencing himself here in the third dimension. God is fifth dimension. Someone else is also a piece of God experiencing themselves. The thing is that none of you know it. You don't remember, they don't remember. All right? So when you do something to someone else, such as lying, the information of your action is out there in the field, and because the field is shared, they are getting it. They may not consciously know that you're lying, but they know. Did it ever happen to you that someone, I don't know, lies or cheats on you and you feel it? You get a feeling. You usually call it intuition. You get a feeling and you cannot pinpoint it or anything, but you know. That is because that information is also in your field. It's like the waves in the ocean. You see the waves and they look separate, but they are all a part of the same ocean. You cannot contaminate one wave and not contaminate the others because there's no actual separation. The separation between the waves is an illusion, right? They are all the same ocean. So the same thing happens here. Whatever information, for example, a lie, you are putting in the field towards them, because the field is shared, they will get it. They may not find out that you're lying, but they will have a feeling. Energetically, they will know. Something else that happens is that because they are a piece of God and you are a piece of God, and this separation is simply an illusion of the third dimension, when you do something to them, you are inevitably doing it to God. And because you are also God, you are inevitably doing it to yourself. So you may do something to someone else and think, oh, I got away with it because they didn't consciously find out. But then something happens to you, something of the same energetic frequency. And you may be like, oh, I have bad luck. It is not bad luck. There's no such thing. It is simply what you put out there inevitably coming back to you, because the out there is yourself. The out there is you. You don't remember that. You think that you can do something to someone else and stay safe. Whatever you do, whether it's good or bad, is going to come back. For example, if you lie to someone else, you may think you got away with it, but in reality, the energetic information is there. There is no lying to God.
So that was very educational there, of explaining a little bit of the energy game, because We all are one. We all are part of God. We all are divine. We all are having a human life experience. And in the game of life, you should be learning and growing so you can teach and help others. And when you get stuck, same stuff coming at you. So, what you put out, you get back. You want to lie to someone? Guess what? Someone comes in, they're going to teach you a lesson. You're not the victim of your life. You're not the victim of your experiences. I don't know how in the world they ever convinced me I was the victim. Yeah, I came in here and I let this guy mess with me. I learned something from that. And if people paid attention to their life, they should have learned something too. And when you stop being the victim, see, Grandpa, I'm sure he was a victim too. Destroyed his whole life while some little girl put him in prison. Who do you think he was thinking about? Happened with many, but there was only one. Only one. Wasn't easy. And if it was more along the lines, hey, you know what? Alisha, you know what? You had a whole fat case against him right after the laws changed, and you had the strength and courage to sit there and tell all those dirty details that he did to you. And he got 3 years. That's a learning lesson right there. And he probably learned a lot while he was in there. Might have been the lesson that he needed to learn. See, when you change your perspective a little bit, it changes things for you. Like, what if I'm not the victim? What if I chose my journey? See, that changes things for you a little bit. You start reevaluating, And see, you put out crap, you get crap. That's how the energy game works. So if you're the victim, guess what? You get someone come back in, be a victim towards you. Ronald, he was a victim, right? I was horrible. I went after his girl. I did the little dick hit to him. I was horrible to him. He's not going to take any responsibility that he was lying and gaslighting me and trying to manipulate me to use me for a green card to get his butt to the USA where I was applying for it. Kind of thought I was a little high risk for it. It's like, sure. Okay, we got all this power. Let's do this. You know what? It was the best role I played. It was a great role. Better figure out what role you're in. But anyhow, I would not be in this world if people changed. And that's the truth. That is the truth. I would not be here. And there are many that are here today in this world to play this game to help people to learn and grow and change. You better open your eyes and take a look around in your life and your reality and what's going on and the distractions that they put in your face to try to take your energy, focus on something else. It's this, it's that, divide and conquer. They got you going good. And then, you don't even know who's who. Somebody's sitting at your table. Might just be that they came to flip it over when you're not paying attention. We all got learning lessons. We all got things that we need to work on and change. And people go through cycles and cycles and cycles. And I mean, do you really honestly think that you can use Jesus Christ to cover up your secrets with lies? I don't know how in the world religious people seem to think, oh, I can get away with this. Jesus Christ, he saves me from my sins, and I could do this. Guess what? You better figure it out in your life. And that kingdom of light, that kingdom of God, that heaven, it's here. It's here on earth. Christ told you that. He told you it's inside of you. You better create it while you're here, because energy does not die. That means if you die riddled in guilt and shame and being a victim, all those low energies and vibrations, guess what? You could go through another life and you might say, oh, I'm not going to live another life. I mean, what are they teaching you? They teach you, you either go to heaven or you go to hell. It's all energy. And if you're living in guilt and fear and shame and victimized mentality, that's your hell. That is your hell. And you got to transmute that energy and love it. I love this life. I love this game. It's just getting better and better for me. And I'm grateful for all the learning lessons. And Ronald gave me a whole bunch of learning lessons. What is it with these religious men and their dick problems going on? Honestly, because it just keeps on coming up. And I tell you what, if someone has stuff that's always happening, they're the problem. Because what the energy they put out, they get back. You better take a look at the people around you, and they're projecting stuff even on you. And so, talking crap behind your back, what do you think that does for you? You sit there and pray for people to get better, but you think that you can go and talk crap about the preacher man, not spending time with you, not giving you attention or whatever it is, and you don't think that affects the preacher man? Because it does. It does. And being judgmental also is low vibrational. You need to figure out yourself. You need to deal with yourself and, rise up and transmute that energy and, become your higher self. That's what Christ did. That's what Christ is all about. It's all in here. Because what's in here comes out here. It's a reflection. And so, you don't have to believe it, but I know. And truly, it is every man for himself. You can keep on going in the same game. But, Christ is not going to save you from your BS. He's just not. So if you lie, guess what? Alisha, send Alisha. Alisha, she knows how to take care of business. It's not her first rodeo. She's done this before. Send Alisha. Alicia's going to have a relationship. If I knew what I was doing, I'd be dangerous. But, I had to prepare for a role. And I go down this road, doing a very thorough evaluation, dealing with some trauma, because Ronald, he has a beard that makes him look older. And then, there's this religious Bible trigger that I have because I've been so manipulated by religious men. I dealt with that. I got through it. I even read my Bible again. Not that I read it now because, well, I'm in just a different level, so it changed. I know it pretty well. I can actually have a conversation with someone and they don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. I'm like, you go to church and, you don't know who Joseph is? I mean, seriously? But anyhow, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you are in an energy game and belief is powerful, but knowing is even more powerful. And knowing that we are all one and it does not matter. It does not matter what you believe. You're just part of the game. And there's many games going on. Some people like the religious world, some people like the political world, some people like, and some people dabble in all kinds of them, and there's a world to make and a world to have and to be in where we have peace and unity with all men. And how do we create that? Because Christ said, blessed are the peacemakers. But I don't see peace going on in the churches and within religion. I mean, my God, people believe that the Muslims hit the towers on 9/11/01. All this stuff that happens because of religion. Might be a good time to open our eyes and take a good look at the world and the energy and your life and what's really important here. It's been a separation between families because, see, when you are not for yourself, everybody's against you. I'm the victim. Guess what? You're victimized by everyone. And that's just truly how it is, And, when you're judgmental towards someone else, your subconscious mind doesn't know anybody else but you. So it's all coming back on you. See, what you think of someone else is coming back on you. And that's why I've had to go through, I've had to change. And so I can teach other people, hey, you know what? I get to hang out with all the pretty women at work, And so, I know the ones that are, the ones I need to stay clear of. Some people you need to stay clear of. They're not making good choices in their lives. If, it just makes me a little glitchy being lied to. Maybe I need to pay attention, keep all the liars out of my life. All the people that aren't going to follow by boundaries and the things that we set up, being honest, So it's a tough game. And, we just gone down this downward spiral. And in fact, some of the information I found is that, and, you can believe what you want, but even there's a song in the church that talks about the other worlds. There are other worlds. We're not the only ones. There's other worlds. There's other entities, other beings. There's, this planet lost their light beingness, and the light is within us, but there's light bodies. When do we get to that? And so, one of the things that is said is that there's no planet that they know of that has gone into such darkness. But then it's amazing that we can go into such darkness and rise up. And it's a frequency, it's an energy. You can't lie about it. You cannot lie about the energy. You just can't. It's not going to happen. If you're fear and guilt and shame and judgmental, those are low vibrational energies. You're not going to, that's not love, love, gratitude, loving your life, loving your journey, loving your neighbors as yourself. You're not better than them. We're all in here. We're in different levels, different categories, different territories, learning and growing from each other. I ran into a homeless woman. And, I chatted with her and I told her to work on her mind, asked her if she read, and I said, get some books to empower yourself because you can change your life with the power of this. You start thinking better, you get better results. And I gave her what I had in my wallet. She was offering to wash windows, and I told her she didn't even need to wash my windows. But guess what? She does it anyways. She did it anyways. And I go into the store, and I had left my purse in my car, but my car was locked. See, now I have something I have to work on, because it's like, she's harmless. She's harmless. She's just washing my windows. What's she going to do? She ain't going to mess with my stuff. She's harmless. And that's how the energy works. You have a God-given right to protect yourself. And nobody else is going to protect you. And what you put out, you'll get back. People respect me. People love me. And it happens all the time. I've seen it. I've seen how I have changed my thoughts and my thinking, and it changes my life. Guess what? Sometimes people purposely will hold open the door for me. And guess what I say? I say, thank you, thank you. I'm grateful, you held open the door for me. And then sometimes, guess what? I'm holding open the door for them. Even men, we're all one. We're not separate. We're all from the Spirit of God. We're all divine beings having a human life experience. And we are here to do nothing more but learn and grow and teach and help. And, some people are here and some people are here. Doesn't mean that you're better. You're just in a different level of the game. And once we get that across, we can have a much better world and level up and learn and grow. But, good and bad, everybody serves a purpose. You get to choose. Are you going to be that winner and that champion in your life, in the game of life? Or are you going to be stuck in your same old nonsense BS that you've been doing not only for your entire life, but probably previous lives and generations of the same stuff? Guess what? My mom was a victim. My grandmother was a victim. And it just keeps on going. I'm not the victim. I chose my life. I chose my journey. I came here to learn and grow and teach and help to evolve my soul. And we get stuck in this low vibrational mentality that we're a victim to our life. We're creating it. We create it. You ever wonder why it is that you say, this and this is going to happen to me, and then this and this and that happens to you? It's because of you. I learned the hard way. They don't teach us the stuff, And so once we rise up and we take ownership of ourselves and stop worrying about what other people are doing, it's going to change things a whole lot. I have seen it way too many times where it's like, oh, you need Jesus Christ. I don't need Jesus Christ. I need to work on myself. I need to own myself. I need to love myself. I can't love God more than I love myself. And when I'm sacrificing myself for other people and letting them treat me like crap and lie to me and BS me, I'm not respecting myself. But then you're the bad guy when you put up the stops to it. That's okay, you know? Keep on going and falling off that cliff. And I'll be the black sheep. And, you know, I'm going to try to get as many of the white sheep that keep on going with everything that's going on. I'm going to try to get as many as I can to say, hey, you know what? Let's stop this gig. Let's make a change. And that's what I truly am here for. And Ronald helped me to get to the next level that I needed to get to on many levels. And so, you know what? It just might be that you're stuck, you didn't evolve, you weren't working on yourself, and someone leveled up on you and moved on from your vibration and your frequency. Because see, I was in that victimized mentality while I began off with Ronald, and I was doing my inner work, evaluating my life, and things switched up. And I'll talk a little bit more about that on my next podcast, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But it's an energy game. And what you put out, you get back. So we'll talk more about, you know, our soul and things like that later on. I've gone through a journey and a process to learn and grow, and then so I can get to where I can teach and help others. And it wasn't easy for me. And if I went through what I went through so that I could help others, help my, bloodline, my lineage here, even with my own children, to make it easier down the road for my grandchildren and on and on, it was worth it. It was worth it. And I just thank God that I came through something and actually learned and grew and came to a point to truly change and look at my life a lot differently and come to see that what was in here reflects out here, that this is only going to change by this. But we've been too busy thinking, you need to change, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, you know what? I need to worry about Alisha. I change, things change. And everybody has their place. Good or bad, they serve a purpose. That woman, that homeless woman, helped me to deal with my fear, helped me to utilize my power that, hey, you know what? Nobody's messing with me. Nobody's messing with me. Nobody's messing with my stuff. And that's just how it is. And when you put out that energy, guess what? You get that energy back. When you're like, hey, you know what? People love me, people like me. And, I get a card and I'm like, what did I do? What did I get this for? And, connecting with God, God will tell you when you clear those lines of communication with God by dealing with your trauma and your inner work and the things that you are here to overcome and work from, you get closer and closer, dealing with your guilt, dealing with your fear, overcoming those energies, that you connect closer and closer to God, where guess what? God will tell you. He'll let you know. And I've gotten myself to a point I can walk away from a situation and I know exactly why I was there, what I learned, how I grew, even what the message was that I was trying to give the person. But sometimes they're so mind trapped and closed minded, they don't accept it. Just like Ronald's girl, right? I was a messenger. I told her that he had BS going on. And she wanted to take her chances because, see, she's not aware. She's not, and, ultimately, she's putting out that energy to attract it. And we will talk more about that kind of stuff later on. Oh, I don't know why in the world they don't teach us this stuff in school. Well, probably because they're trying to brainwash us and keep us divided and separated from each other and God. And once we wake up to that, maybe we can unite and make this the world that we are creating. We create the chaos, the bullshit. And yeah, I'm going to say that word. And once we knock it off and grow up, I know it's tough. Hang in there. Hang in there. Be strong. I went through it. And that's what I am sharing my journey for this year, because I did go through it. And the last 5 years have been tough. And COVID was just a wake-up call. It was a wake-up call. I listened to that voice that said, something's wrong. Something's wrong, and something is wrong. And they got you distracted on a bunch of BS stuff. And it goes on and on and on. And we'll talk about some of that stuff later on. But I loved my little gig with Ronald. I'm going to enjoy my life. Enjoy it. I'm like a cat, because I've almost died several times. I just keep on coming back. And so, you know what? I'm going to enjoy the rest of this life. And what's meant for me will find me. I'm going to put out the best things. I have plenty. I love me. I love this life. I love this journey. It's a beautiful world, and humanity is beautiful. We all have good in us. Ronald had good. Robert had good. Even Hal had good in him. And we need to open our eyes and see what's going on so we could change it. So we can come out of trauma bonding with people. So I'm going to leave it at that, So take whatever you can take from it and resonate with it. You don't have to agree with me with everything. Just take whatever you can for your own journey. But it just might be that you need to wake up to something and get out of something. And if you are meant to get out of something, it's going to get harder and harder and harder on you. And I seen the way that man that is like Ronald dies. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's pitiful. And I'm not going to be that person.
People desperately want you to believe that something is wrong with you when you speak your truth, you live in your truth, you walk in your truth, but really nothing is wrong with you. The truth is they are just extremely offended that you can live in your truth when they can't even face the truth about themselves. Guarantee every single person that's ever been hateful to you when you're just unapologetically you is a person that can never take accountability for anything ever, because they'd have to face the truth about who they are, and that's just something they're not willing to do. A coward will always fear the courageous, and then they'll project that fear onto you, and it's not your fucking problem, friend. People.
So what are my learning lessons from this? Well, one learning lesson is that I have been doing this my whole life. And you know what? Some tables that I came into and that I have sat at are not to be sat at. Sitting there with the enemy. And sometimes I came in to flip them over and teach them a good lesson. And that's just how it is. That's what a spiritual warrior has to do. That is what an anointed spiritual general has to do, or to get to that point. And life is all a game. It's a game of energy. We're going to prove it. We're going to prove it. Because it's a game of energy. Isn't it amazing that I put out to get a photo of Ronald, a real photo if he was honest, and a fake photo if he was not being for real? And he answered that. He answered that because he is part of God. We all have the energy and the spirit of God within us. And he answered it. And energy cannot lie. You cannot BS God. And that's a big fat learning lesson right there. You just can't. And energetically, I had to go into those energies to play the game. That's what I came here for. And, the thing is that once you start healing and doing your inner work and working on yourself and figuring out, well, what am I here for? What did I choose to do? You can tap into spiritual gifts and help to make this world a better place to live. I mean, can you imagine, I get, I almost died 9/11/23. Now I can imagine if I had actually died and then it would have been like, well, you get to go back right into the same crap practically, See, I've transmuted the energy into love and light. And hey, you know what? I love this. I love where I'm at. I love this game of life. I am grateful for the learning lessons I learned to get me to where I'm at. And that's what we have to do. Because you're not going to be able to just go to some magical place. But, another learning lesson is keep liars and BSers out of my life. Pay attention to that energy because energy doesn't lie. I always know. One of the things that have been going on is that these religious men get their little side hustles going on before they get married. And they got women so desensitized to submit to the men when women hold the power. Women are the soul portals. And women need to take their place in this world and put these men in their places. Because it's ridiculous the trauma that is caused by lying and BSing. And another learning lesson I learned is watch my life and my world. Watch it. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to the energies. And you know what? If you're lying about one thing, you're going to lie about something else. And you're out. Because energy doesn't lie. And that's just how it is. I'll tell you, I am 35. I keep on doing 35. And that's just the game I'm playing. But I was born in 1978. You can figure that out. But I am not aging. I am getting younger and younger, and that's the power I hold. Because I hold my own power. Life is getting easier. Life is getting better. I love it, and I'm enjoying my life. Because here is no better than there. And how are you going to enjoy there if you can't enjoy here? So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy your life. Let it go. Christ said that only the ones that are like children will enter the kingdom of God. Free yourself. Stop worrying about the BS. Stop worrying about it. Stop living in fear of it. Nothing and no one is going to harm you unless you Allow it to. And that's just how it is. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner we realize that, we can get through some stuff and create a beautiful world, because we have the power. We are the creators. We are the manifestors. And they have manipulated us to a degree of, it is the edge of insanity. It is the edge of insanity when human beings can be whatever, sex they want to be. And even animals only have two genders. But it's fun. It's fun. Enjoy the world that we created. We created it. Enjoy it. And once we start loving it and loving our lives and loving our journeys and learning our experiences and, growing and, truly, being able to teach each other, learn from one another, what's going on and this and that, it's truly, truly amazing. It truly is. And so energy, it's all around us, it's in us, it's all around us. And we're going to talk more about that later. They lie to us about everything, but it is up to us to come out of it. And if it's above your head, it's above your head. It's above your head. Keep on falling for the same old stuff. And you get there and be like, you could go back, maybe not to this world, because this world's vibration is changing. But, go back to some world that has the low vibration and gotta get out of it. That's your hell. I'm going to work on getting as far ahead as I can. So it opens up doors and opens up options to other things and, those other worlds, even the Bible talks about the other kingdoms, but it all begins in here. And every experience you can learn and grow from, and you got to figure it out. And so clear those lines of communication. God's going to tell you. God will tell you. And so we are going to, in this, I'm sharing my truth and my soul. This is my sole purpose. It's my truth, sharing my truth so that we can change things. Because I am the change and you are the change and we are the change. And you see my sign back there, we, not me. And it takes every single one of us to have our place and to do our part. And I am grateful for my life and my journey. I am grateful for the contribution, the donations that I have received. I'm grateful for just being spiritually supported, not just financially supported, but spiritually supported. Being grateful for everything that I have, because it's amazing how God will put you in your place so that you can change and do what you got to do. But I chose it. I chose it so that I could take my place and play my part. And I will prove it. I will prove it. I don't care what you think anyways. So next show for this is on the 25th of June, which, if ever there was the biggest move that you had to make in your life to get you ahead in the game, I made it. I made it. I was guided. I made it. And that is leaving Washington State. And so on June 25th, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the things that happened that led up to me leaving Washington State, because it was the biggest move I ever made of my life in my game of life. And it was needed and it was necessary. And I will tell you that every person in my life was tested. They were tested. And so either people are for you or they're not for you, but they were tested. And it's an interesting gig to find out that. But leaving Washington State, we're going to go through that and talk about some of the things that happened with me leaving Washington State. Remember, it's just a game. Enjoy it. And I'm going to also do a show that I will probably release next week about as I went through and going from victim to villain. And we're going to talk a little bit about Alisha's journey and life experiences and hashing through stuff and, victim to villain. Because it might give you something to think about with your own life and your own journey. And again, that is what I'm here for. If it helps somebody to say, well, maybe I'm not the victim. Maybe I'm choosing this. Maybe I need to change. Guess what? It's going to be worth it. And so please like, share, subscribe, and donate if you can. We'll leave the links in the bio for my Facebook, Our Greatness, also for the Alisha Broman Quinn on Facebook. And you can follow me on there. And then there's, I'll leave the links for PayPal and Cash App to donate if you can. And again, I would highly recommend you to go watch the movie, The Secret. So that way, when we have the review that I will do in a couple of weeks, that you can just listen to it and see what your own perspective of it would be. And even if you would like to share your perspective, I will leave my email address in the bio so that you can connect with me to share your perspective as well. Because see, sometimes we just don't look at things the way that others do. And that's one of the things I have learned. And it might just shed some light where I didn't look at it that way. And there might be someone who didn't look at it that way. And so if you are interested in sharing your perspective of that movie with us, either through a written email or coming on here, I open that invitation to you. And so go watch the movie, The Secret, and it just might open your eyes to something as it did myself. And so remember, enjoy your day, one day at a time. Enjoy your life. It's just a game. Play the game. Stay strong. Stay strong. Hang in there. I know sometimes it can be really freaking tough, especially when you've been playing the victim game your whole life. Take another look at it. Take another perspective of it. What are you learning from your life and your experiences? And what is it about you that you need to change? Stay strong, though. Stay strong and hang in there. You might need to jump back in the game. That just might be what you need to do. Like, let me jump back in here. Let me start doing something. So, but I send you all peace, love, healing, And we're going to end it off with a great song that I got called You Made Me Do It. You know, liars and BSers, they're out. They're just out. I'm on my highest timeline, my highest journey, and that's just how it is. And so, either you come along or you get left behind. That's just how it is. It's tough. It's tough to learn those lessons, but we all can do it. We all can move forward from where we're at. And that's all we can do is just move forward from where we're at. And you made me do it. I'm done BS. And I told you I was done dicking around, and I am. So enjoy this song. And enjoy the couple little messages that I received that are just so fitting, so very, very fitting for this particular podcast. Because, sometimes you want to play the game, but you play the game with the wrong person. And you know what? Sometimes I do win.
Ladies, men never block you. Do you know how much of a menace you have to be to get blocked by a man? If that man had to block you, you win. Ladies, men never block you. Do you know how much of a menace you have to be to get blocked by a man? If that man had to block you, you win.
Everybody say they want to play the game till you playing the game better than them. Come on, somebody. Let's not lie here. Some of y'all be a little tender when you thought that you was going to play somebody. But turns out they know how to play that exact game that you're playing and a little bit better at that. Everybody say they want to play the game till you playing the game better than them. Come on, somebody. Let's not lie here. Some of y'all be a little tender when you thought that you was going to play somebody. But turns out they know how to play that exact game that you're playing and a little bit better at that.
What shall I do? It's me or you. You cross the line now. So this has to go down. Your breath on my skin, eyes filled with sin. 3 seconds more and blood will be pouring. I don't wanna hurt you, but I have no other choice to. I'm sorry about this, but you made me do it. Yeah, you made me do it. Damn, you blew it. Yeah, you made me do it. You broke my trust and ruined us. Lied right to my face. That can't be erased. You leave me no choice. You can't avoid the consequences. Have left you defenseless. See, I don't wanna hurt you, but I have no other choice to. I'm sorry about this, but you made me do it. Yeah, you made me do it. Damn, you blew it. You made me do it. Unforgivable, caught you red-handed. Every stunt you pulled, can't understand it. Now you're gonna fade, say goodbye today.
the mic. We're done hiding in the dark, like a riot inside. We lit the fuse, it's a matter of time. Something is pulling us out to the edge. They tell us not to, they always forget. We break the rules, we break the rules. Yeah, we do just what we want to. Nobody's fool, nobody's fool. Yeah, we're playing like we can't lose. Wanna be the outlaws, no stopping us, no stopping us, no stopping us. We break the rules, we break the rules. Yeah, we do just what we want to. We take control, we steal the show. We take control. Yeah, we do just what we want to. Yeah, we do just what we want to. We